Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Present.
Councilman Eastern,
Present.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Present.
We have 3 present and 2 absent.
Meeting is now called to order. Item 4, presentation of the minutes from the previous regular scheduled meeting held on Thursday, April 14, 2016, and the special meeting held on Wednesday, April 13, 2016, and Thursday, April 28, 2016. I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes. Second. It's been moved and seconded. Do we have any questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 3 ayes and 2 absent.
Motion passes. Item 5, approval of a proposed agenda. We don't have any. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion to, it's been a long day. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed agenda. So moved. Been moved and seconded. Did we move?
Second.
Second, moved by Councilwoman Hamilton Dean, seconded by Councilman Eastern. Do you have any questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 3 ayes and 2 absent.
Proposed agenda is approved. Item 6, we have reports of the Public Works Committee, Chairman Robert Eastern III.
Yes. 6A is the presentation of resolution for the mayor and city council to award the contract of Vanderbilt Engineering purchasing an alarm monitoring system for the city of East St. Louis lift station. 6B is the presentation of a resolution for the mayor and city council to award contract Vanderbilt Engineering for the preventive maintenance for the city of East St. Louis lift station. I'd like to move for approval on item 6A and B, if there are any questions.
Is there a second? Second. Been moved by Councilman Eastern, seconded by Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Mosley, Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 3 ayes and 2 absent.
Motion passes. Do you have anything else coming from the Public Works Committee, Councilman? Okay. Moving on to item 7, reports of the Finance Committee, Chairman June Hamilton Dean.
Item 7A, presentation of an ordinance for the mayor and city council to approve the 2016 general fund budget amendment 1. Item B,
Hey, man.
presentation of an ordinance for the mayor and city council to approve the 2016 TIF budget amendment 1. I'd like a motion to approve items A and B.
So move.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Sorry. Been moved by Councilman Eastern, seconded by myself. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley,
No.
Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 3 ayes, 1 nay, and 1 absent.
Motion failed.
Item C, presentation of an ordinance for the mayor and city council to accept the 2013 audit for the city of East St. Louis. Item D, presentation of an ordinance terminating the contract with CyberPath.
Madam Chair, can we take these
One at a
separately?
time, okay.
Yeah.
I'd like a motion for item C, presentation of the ordinance for the mayor and city council to accept the 2013 audit for the city of East St. Louis. I'd like a motion, please.
So move.
Second. Madam Clerk, the motion has been Been moved by Councilman Eastern, seconded by myself. Do we have any questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Mosley,
Yes.
Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
You have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Motion passes.
Item D, presentation.
I'm sorry, before we move, I'd like to move to go to executive session so we can discuss these with the attorney since he wasn't here last week. It's a brief executive session. So I'm making a motion to go into executive session.
Executive session on what?
On the next 2 items, IT, cybercrime, and the next 2 items.
Oh, okay.
Is there a second?
I second.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley,
Can I ask a question before I vote, Mayor?
We got a motion and a
Oh,
second.
yes.
Councilman Hamilton Dean,
No.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
No. Motion fails.
2 ayes, 2 nays, and 1 absent.
Item D, presentation of an ordinance for terminating the contract with CyberPath. I'd like to make a motion to approve item D.
Second. Madam Clerk, will you please call? Do we have any questions?
Yeah. Why couldn't we go into executive session, Mayor? Was there a reason?
We could have gone, but I believe the attorney has presented the information. Councilman, did you have the opportunity to talk to the attorney?
I did tonight, but I didn't get my email till today. I don't have the email, so I guess the rest of you got an email. I'm fortunate to have, I go through Mrs. Bell to get my email. I don't have an email like everybody at home, so I got mine today. And, I had a meeting with Mr. Wagner at 5:30 to give me the rundown. And Mr. Easton asked for, executive session so we could talk about it. And I didn't want to just discuss it, but I want to do the right thing with, the council. And I had heard it was pretty rough. And I wanted to make sure that I was on the same page with you all. And, if there was a lawsuit, I would be with the city within itself. But if you all don't want it, it's okay with me.
I will,
You already voted no, so I'll vote for it.
what's the pleasure of the council? We can revisit that if you like.
I don't, I don't consider,
Since Councilman Mosley did not have the opportunity to really see
today
the
was my
email.
first day, I had a meeting with Mr. Wagner. Is that right, Mr. Wagner?
Yes, sir.
At 5:30.
That is
Is
correct.
that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you told me the whole story, right?
I did, sir.
And you told me I didn't get mine till today, is that right?
Yes, that's what you said.
I'm not, it's okay, I'm voting on it, but I didn't want to hear it was Roy on the same page that, Mrs. Dean and the mayor and Mr. Easton is on. So when I do vote, I can vote the right way. That's all.
Okay, okay, with that being said, will you make another motion?
Somebody
You got to withdraw the
You have to
motion.
withdraw the motion.
I'll withdraw my second. Councilwoman,
So I withdraw as well.
okay.
So with that, I'll make the motion to go, proceed into executive session.
As long as we don't be long because the citizen is waiting, and I don't wanna make them irritable about it, so I'll do it and go on. If it don't take long, is that right, Mayor?
That's right.
Okay, well,
Go
it won't
ahead.
take, if it takes 5 minutes, I'm agreeable, because he really give it to me in 15, 20 minutes, he gave me examples and everything. But I just wanted to make sure that you all know that I don't have an email and I got it today.
Okay, so I'll second that. And, Madam Clerk, will you
Who
please
making the
call?
motion? Eastern?
Councilman Easter made the motion.
And the purpose for litigation or?
Yes, we'll be going into executive session for personnel and legal matters.
But can the city manager come in there with us?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Ready?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Mosley,
Yes?
Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes,
You have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
motion passes. Citizens, please give us about 5 to 10 minutes to be wrapped. We are now resuming the council meeting. We just finished discussing personnel and legal matters in the executive session. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll to reestablish a quorum? We appreciate the citizens waiting on us. It took a little bit longer than what we thought.
Councilman Mosley,
Present?
Councilman Hamilton Dean,
Present.
Councilman Eastern,
Present.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Present.
You have 4 present and 1 absent.
Item 7D, presentation of an ordinance terminating the contract with CyberPath. I'd like to make a motion to approve item 7D.
Is there a second?
I second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean, seconded by Councilman Mosley. Do we have any questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley,
Yes?
Councilman Hamilton Dean.
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
You have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Motion passes.
Item 7E, presentation of an ordinance approving an information technology IT services agreement with Conoco Minolta Business Solutions USA Incorporated. I'd like to make the motion to approve item 7AE.
It's been moved by Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second has been seconded by Councilman Eastern. Do we have any questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley.
Yes?
Councilman Hamilton Dean.
Yes.
Councilman Eastern.
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
You have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Motion passes. Chairwoman, do we have any more items from the Finance Committee?
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have item 8, report of the Public Safety Committee. Chairman LaToya Greenwood is not here tonight. I will present her meeting in her absence, or her items in her absence. Item 8A, presentation of regulatory affairs business license applications. Is there a motion to approve item 8A?
I make the motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Mosley, seconded by Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean. We have a question by Councilman Eastern.
Question, on the item of business, but I think it's Jeans and Things Flea Market located at 1600 State Street. I think it was some readiness from the Regulatory Affairs Department. So I'm asking if we can go ahead and make the, is that the only one that we have? I think that's the only one we have.
Okay. There's been a motion and a second on the floor, but the councilman has said there is some unreadiness from the Regulatory Affairs.
I withdraw my motion.
The motions have been withdrawn. Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean has withdrawn her motion, and Councilman Mosley has withdrawn his second. We will come back to this issue when the unreadiness has been addressed. Item 8B, presentation of an ordinance requiring proof of waste disposal prior to the issuance of any building or rehabilitation permits. Is there a motion to approve item 8B?
Second. Motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Eastern, seconded by Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean. Do we have any questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley,
Yes,
Councilman Hamilton Dean.
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood. Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Motion passes. Item 8C, presentation of an ordinance adopting the discipline matrix, citizens complaint process, and rules of conduct of the Metro East Police District Commission. Is there a motion to approve item 8C?
Make a motion.
second,
It's been moved by Councilman Eastern, seconded by Councilman Mosley. Do we have any questions? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley,
yes,
Councilman Hamilton Dean.
Yes.
Councilman Eastern,
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Motion passes. Item 9, reports of the Community Development Committee. Chairman Roy Mosley Sr.
take care of that, man.
Okay, I will address item 9A. 9A is presentation of an ordinance for the Marion City Council setting operation guidelines for a free concert being sponsored by the City of East St. Louis on June 19, 2016. Is there a motion to approve item 9A?
I make the motion.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilwoman June Hamilton Dean, seconded by Councilman Eastern. Do we have any questions?
Questions, Mayor?
Councilman,
Do you know anything about this, Mayor? Who's sponsoring this?
this concert is being sponsored by Councilman Eastern, and I will turn the floor over to him.
Yes, Councilman Mosley, this is a free concert that we're putting on. It's a Peace Fest that, like we did a couple of years ago. We're doing it at Colton Park. The funds have been raised and procured and delivered to the city. So we said setting the parameters for the vendors and the insurance purposes. It's on Father's Day.
It won't cost the city no fund, no money.
It's not costing the city a dime.
Okay. You know the part, grass need cutting out there, so make sure they cut it out there. The state is not cutting grass,
Right. Yes, sir.
you know. June is a long way off. You said June what? Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Okay, so you need to make sure that the grass is being cut out there.
Do you have any more questions?
No, it
Comment?
don't cost the city no money, Mayor.
Okay. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilman Mosley,
Yes,
Councilman Hamilton Dean.
Yes.
Councilman Eastern.
Yes.
Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Councilman Greenwood, Mayor Jackson Hicks.
Yes.
We have 4 ayes and 1 absent.
Motion passes. Item 10, do we have any old business? Any old business? Item 11, we have new business. We have 2 presentations. We're gonna ask our presenter to keep them to a maximum of 5 minutes. We have a presentation from Mr. Toby Roach.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I just want to give you an update report on the River Bridge District project. I've made that presentation on the infrastructure involved in the project several times to this council. However, I do owe the city council a report on what are the efforts to move up DBE and MBE participation numbers on this project. So I have 2 issues to discuss tonight, both of which are in some of the packets. First of all is just moving up what is the standard DBE, MBE goal associated with both the federal and state funding. I've worked with the engineering group at moving that number up, and we have been successful at doing that, and we have authorization from County Board Chairman Kern to pursue that. We would be moving up from what is the 15% DBE goal established by the federal and state projects, which right now are adjacent. And I note those in a chart at the bottom of your packet on page 3. There's 2 projects right now that are under construction that are at 15%. We'd like to do better than that. The council has asked us to do better with that, and we have made that effort. We have been able to push that number up to 20%. While we would certainly like to do better, there are limits as far as what are the available contractors and so on. And so that's what we're able to achieve as of this date. We will always be looking to move that number up, but I wanted to fulfill the obligation to report to you all on what my progress is today. However, there is a second issue. Is there any questions on just that issue?
I have one. For the DBE, MBE goals, is it possible that those goals could be split? One for MBE and one for FBE, well, for female businesses is what I'm talking about.
Correct. So that distinction in DBE or MBE depends on what the certification is for what is called the UCP, or Universal Certification Program, that is run through the state. I am not an expert, Your Honor, on that issue. I'll have to get back to you on how the split can be configured. I do have some of that documentation here on the existing programs. It's very lengthy and I'm not an expert on it, so
Sure.
I'll need to get back to you on that.
I only asked that question because I know the County Development Board does that, where they split the goals.
Yes.
And, to make up for the difference in the participation levels that there have been when we talk about minority and female businesses.
That's
To pick up the
absolutely
disparity.
accurate.
Okay.
I know that is true. It just is not my area of expertise.
Sure.
My area of expertise is more in the finance and the putting of the projects together. And I'm trying to respond to the request of the council.
Okay.
So you're weighted into an area that I'm just not that good at, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But I can't get you that answer.
Okay.
Okay? The second issue is, so we have,
Let me ask the council, I'm sorry,
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
have any more questions on that issue, council member? Councilman Mosley?
Yes, 20%. May I ask him to, that's the most you can get right now is 20%?
that is the most we
Okay.
can get using other people.
Money.
Other folks' money.
Okay.
Using the
Okay.
federal and state.
Okay.
If we were using some of our own money.
Yeah, I
Or the
understand.
city's money, we can push that
I
number.
understand.
Yes,
And I
yes,
have no
sir.
problem.
Okay.
Madam Clerk?
Mayor, can I get the package so I can have it as part of the minutes, so when we reflect back, you have it as an attachment to your minutes, please? Because I don't
Sure.
have a package of anything that he's speaking on.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am, I'll get an extra.
City
copy.
manager, are you aware of what we're talking about?
I am.
You do, so you know.
Yeah, me and Mr. Roach have met.
Okay.
Multiple times. on this
That's good
particular
enough,
issue,
then, that's
so.
good enough.
We have any more questions from council?
No, Mayor, thank you.
One other issue, Mayor. So there is the ownership MBE goal, DDE goal that has to do who owns the business, and then there's the actual jobs. Those are 2 different tranches, both of which we wish to attack, okay? One of the requests of the council is, how do we generate more local jobs? How do we generate jobs that are for the citizens of East St. Louis? That is a more difficult tasking, as you know, because we have to use other money that's locally oriented. So I've been working on that for several weeks, and I've gone into the county board chairman's office, and you have a letter in front of you committing to a brand new program that we are calling St. Clair THIP. It is a targeted incentive jobs program. Essentially, that is a funded program through $100,000 of county funding that would incentivize contractors to hire folks who live in East St. Louis, okay? That's the really only guideline. Yeah, there is some details. It's a brand new program. I have given you as much as I can so that we would welcome edits from you all. I'm happy to hear them if there's any critiques on the issue. But what we wanted to do was to respond to the requests that have been made in this council chamber as of my presentations earlier. And we want to be very aggressive. And I'm very happy that the county board chairman has endorsed and funded the idea. So we do have funding. That is independent of the grant agreements, independent of the state and federal money. This is only locally oriented money and would only be paid on folks who can show proof of residency in East St. Louis.
And can I just add to that?
Yes, City Manager.
Me and Mr. Roach, we met, we kind of talked about this program, he pitched it to me. I thought it was a very innovative idea in order to try to get some minority participation as well as to get the contractors themselves involved in the particular projects, as far as going out into the community and actually getting those citizens to come. So this is a way to kind of incentivize them to increase their efforts to go get local people from East St. Louis to come work for them. So hats off to the chairman and Mr. Roach for bringing this back.
Thank you.
When is it gonna happen, man?
Mr. Roach.
This summer?
So we hope to bid this project in June. We are in final engineering and engineering review, both on a federal and state level. We're about 90% complete with that. I do have some different logistical contracts to take care of, some of which are reflected in front of you. But we are very close. I would hope for a June letting date. The letting date would then start that process. We would go to an open bid. It's a highly phased project that would be over 18 months. It could also be very possible that there's more job generation in the later stages of the project just because of the type of work that will be available. First section is a little more technical, but that, in general, that's the timeline.
Man, could I ask him a question?
Sure,
too?
Councilman.
Mr. Roach, where, will the city manager have the applications, or will he be the come-to person to, let you know about who we have, prospect of, employment?
Right,
Or
so
do we go to the county, or the county, do we?
we would work on those details. Obviously, I would not run the program myself. All I have right now is the program funded and the general ideas. However, the implementation, I would work with the city manager, Mr. Logan, on that to try to be as effective as possible. One idea that I have heard from county staff that they thought would be much more effective would be to get a list of pre-qualified individuals. In other words, be able to hand to the contractors folks that we knew had a viable East St. Louis address and were interested in work, okay? By giving those folks to the bidding contractors, they would know if I hire that individual, I will get an incentive to give that individual a job for a minimum period. So there's a minimum period of at least 8 weeks of employment. We'd obviously hope that it'd go further than that, but we need to set parameters of what the goal is.
Okay, that sounds good.
Sorry, is that part-time and full-time, or is it just full-time?
It would be up to the private market, okay? So what we're trying to do is fill, when I interview the contracting community about, look, I said, I'm very honest, we wanted to try something new. We're not doing good enough collectively. We need to do a better job of employing local people. And what I was told by a lot of those individuals is that sometimes there's outreach programs and extra training that needs to be done. Okay, so the idea would be is that we incentivize the contracting community so that essentially they get paid for that. Okay, so it would be, there is no parameters on whether it is part-time or full-time, okay, except at least that 8-week period, and that would be full-time, so a 40-hour week at least. So
Doing
yes.
the 8 weeks, it is. 40
Yes, ma'am.
hours.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I'm sorry.
That's what yeah. That's
You know,
what
I
I'm
kind of
talking about.
misunderstood your question. I apologize. So yes, minimum job hours number.
Is it truck driver's job, or is it labor jobs, or is it carpenter? What type of jobs are
Any qualifying job on a full-time basis for a minimum of 8 weeks. Okay, so minimum of 8 weeks, 40-hour work week, and proof of East St. Louis residency. Whether that's a utility bill, whether that's a driver's license, and after the 8-week period of time. No incentives are paid until those job hours are delivered, okay? That's the preliminary thoughts. That we may have some tuning to do. Again, I'm not a specialist on how to work out those issues or how to work with the contracting community about the reporting requirements, but some of the fundamentals are here, and I'm hopeful that they'll make a difference. We're just trying something new, to be very honest with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Roach, and thank you for the work
Thank you
you've
so
done.
much.
Thank you, City Manager.
Thank you, Mr. Roach.
Thank you.
At this time, we're gonna ask for Mr. Liesel to come forward.